So I tried to find a video of how to introduce you guys to the Kratky method, but I couldn't find anyone that does exactly what I do. So I decided to go ahead and make you a video. So each of the seedlings starts out in a little cup, and and I start them with these peat pellets. And once they get tall enough, this one's a little bit leggy, but that's actually okay for this. You will pull the seedling out of the dirt. It'll have like a little bit of dirt on it still, but I just like dip it in some water to kind of like rinse a little bit of that off. You don't have to get all of it. And then I have these little cups that I start them out in. So I put the cup in here for now, and the seedling goes into, this is called a cloning collar. So the seedling goes into a cloning collar, and this is the part that I do differently, because a lot of people do their seedlings in net cups with like a rock wool or some kind of like substrate that they use, but this makes it so that you don't have to use any kind of substrate. And I found that the net cups kind of I don't know, they just seem like they're an extra thing that's bad for the environment. Like, it's hard to get the roots and stuff out of them. And if you look more into the Kratky method, you'll see what I'm talking about. But anyway, I start them out in these little cups. And once they get a little bit bigger, then I'll fill the reservoir with the nutrient solution. And then I take the cloning collar and just like put it down into, they actually fit in here, but it's a little bit difficult to do with the camera here and stuff. But anyway, put this in here, and then they have a good supply of nutrient. And the thing is that there's actually like, here's one that's in a jar. The top of the roots, which you kind of can't see, the very top of the roots, those are called air roots, and so that's how the plant breathes, and you have to keep those out of the water. But the bottom roots, I start them out in just plain water in these little cups, but then I mix the nutrient solution for once I move them to a larger container. And you're supposed to actually like cover the outside of this with some kind of fabric or something to prevent the light from being able to reach in there, because they will grow like algae and stuff like that. But sometimes I don't, because it's really easy to just pull the plant out and wash out the container every once in a while. So that one's started. For the nutrient solution, when I'm starting the seedlings, I use this set General Hydroponics, and they come in a set of 3. So it's a red one, a green one, and a pink one. And it gives instructions on the back of how to mix it. And these last a really long time, because you only need, once you're starting, you start out with like half a teaspoon of each in the solution. And then once they get a little bit bigger, I have a different recipe for the hydroponic solution, which is in another video. And I just got that from ChatGPT, because usually people use ingredients that are that have some like animal derived, and I'm like vegan vegetarian, so I came up with my own solution with the help of AI that is vegan, if you're interested in that. But anyway, it's really easy. You can do it in any container that holds water. And as you see, I used like a wire thing to hook this one, and then this one's a little bit different. I just used a piece of cardboard and cut it to the size. Yeah, and then the only other thing is you need a source of light. And so for my lights, these are just like a really cheap set from Amazon. You can hear the sirens in the background. There's always sirens here. Anyways, it's a cheap set from Amazon that's, I think they were like $35. You don't have to have really super expensive grow lights. You just have to make sure that when they're small like this, that you keep the grow lights like really low, so they don't have to like stretch and get leggy to reach the light. But yeah, it's really easy, and I love telling people about it because you can literally do this in any space. If you have a window, and it's kind of like set and forget, you don't have to water the plants constantly because they have their source of water, so you just check it every once in a while to make sure that they have enough. So yeah, that's the Kratky method. If you have any questions, let me know.